The day has come. We're making a vision board. I get so excited to make my vision boards or dream boards, brand boards, all of the boards. It's the best time. But I've never done a video actually like making one. So I thought it'd be really fun to start off 2021. I know it's February and I usually make my vision boards in January, but that's okay. You can make it whenever you want. I actually did a video a couple years ago all about how to make a vision board that really works, things that you should put on it, shouldn't put on it. And you guys absolutely love that video. So I will link that down below if you want more information on vision boards. Highly recommend checking that one out and then come make one with me. Hopefully this will inspire you to make your own dream board or vision board and make all your dreams come true. If you haven't seen my previous video, a vision board is just a physical way for you to put down your dreams, your desires, and your intentions, which evokes your subconscious mind, which is actually said to be 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. So essentially what we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and feeling behind it will one day become our reality. But honestly, whether you believe in law of attraction or not, I think it's just a great way to physically put your dreams and your goals, whatever you have in your mind that you would love to come true, just on something physical that you see every single day. You can also make it digitally if you prefer, so you can have it as your desktop screensaver, your phone screensaver. I always like to take a photo of my finished vision board and like set it as my phone background just so that I'm constantly seeing these images every single day, even when I'm not thinking about it. I just feel like 2020, I grew so much in ways I didn't anticipate. I feel like a lot of us have, so I'm excited to make a new one that I feel aligned with, which is actually my word of the year. I mentioned this in a past video, my goal setting video, which I will also link down below. I highly recommend when you're making your vision boards to pick a word of the year for yourself that you want to make as like your theme throughout the entire year. So if you don't have a word of the year yet, think about it, pause this video and comment down below what your word of the year is. Supplies to make your vision board. Like I said, you can make a physical board like I do. You can also just make a digital one, especially if you're like, girl, I am not artistic whatsoever. First of all, your vision boards do not need to be pretty by any means. It doesn't have to be like aesthetically pleasing. I'm just super particular and I like to make it look like that because I'm hanging it up. So I just want it to kind of go with the vibe, but it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. You can literally just like collage them, but you can also do a digital one like I said. So I actually take you through like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do this in my last video. So again, I'm gonna link that video down below. I honestly switch it up every single year what materials I use because I always want to elevate it. So last year I did a thin Canson board, but this year we're stepping it up and we're doing a thick like museum board. So it's like this wood board, which I'm actually gonna end up painting the sides of here at the end. But I like the idea of this one because it's super sturdy and I don't even have to frame it. So, oh my God, I'm so excited. But in the past I've used like a poster board, but one year I just bought like a frame and I just painted inside of it. So literally whatever inspires you, do that. As far as materials go, again, you can do whatever you want. What I like to do is print off photos from Walgreens because you can print them off on like a matte finish, which I prefer so there's not as much glare and I just feel like it looks better. But if you want to just do like the standard glossy photo paper, you can literally print it off at Walgreens or CVS, like same day pickup for like $3 to $5. It's super, super cheap. So that's an option. You can also just print these on regular paper from your printer. Where to get your photos? So I actually like to mock up a couple of them myself if I have like a specific goal in mind, which I will show you that are like numbers based. But for the most part, I just get my photos off of Pinterest. I love Pinterest. There's so many good photos on there. And I have a secret board that's called like Vision Board 2021. And like near the end of the year or whenever I'm making my board, I'll just have myself a little night, pour some wine, and have myself a little Pinterest spree. But my first year I painted a lot of them instead of finding photos of it. You can also get like a bunch of magazines and tear out photos as you go. I also went to Blick and I got like some fun paper. This is actually from my last year's board, but I had extra and I'm so glad I kept this because I love this paper. Aside from that, I just have glue, scissors, and a positive attitude. So setting the vibe, I highly recommend whenever you're making your vision board, first of all, I recommend doing it by yourself because when you're doing it with other people, while that can be fun, I feel like a lot of us kind of hold ourselves back a little bit with certain goals and like projecting every little thing that we would like to happen just out of fear or insecurity that will like get made fun of or whatever. So I recommend just doing it by yourself so that you're like fully uninhibited. And I always like to put on my manifestation playlist, which I'll link below on Spotify if you want to go follow that. A bunch of good happy songs that have to do with manifestation or just like elevate my mood in general. You don't want to do anything that's gonna like drain you because you want your vibe while you're making this to be the highest. And if you're not a huge music person, you can put on like a movie that you love. I have been waiting to use this manifestation candle until this video. I've had this for months, but I literally have this manifestation candle from Sakara. Set your intention as you light the flame, what you think you create. I just love that. So pretty too. We love the aesthetic. So I'm gonna go set my intentions and then it's time to make the board. Okay, so I'm gonna lay out everything on the board before I actually glue it down, just so I can like visually see where things would potentially go. And normally I just throw everything in a way that I think looks visually appealing. I also love to print off just like backgrounds and textures that I can layer and like cut out underneath other pictures just to like add a little sum to the pictures. I also printed off like a little color palette of what my new branding colors are. So I have that over here. Those are like extra photos, so I'll figure out where to put them after. But here's just like a little idea of mine. So up here I have wealth and finances. Here is a section that I have for my like quotes, and I may span these out around the board, just kind of like where I see fit. I normally don't put a ton of words on my vision board. If you saw my last video on how to make an effective vision board. So for the most part, stick with images. Up here, I'm just gonna have a couple little sustainability things that I like. This section right here is kind of miscellaneous, but it's mostly home stuff. Right here, I have health. This is actually a project that I wanna work on with Alex this year. Down here, I have travel, have a couple for hobbies, as well as career and work goals down here. And at this point, I'm gonna move things around and see like where I would put my extra photos, my filler photos, and layering photos such as this. I also have a couple things that I printed off of my actual printer that were like too small for me to print because it was super pixelated. All right, so here's everything that's kind of laid out. Obviously, I'm gonna cut up a bunch of these things, like a lot of the quotes. Some of these I printed in a way that was just less pixelated, so I'm gonna cut it up and put different backgrounds on it, stuff like that. So it's not all gonna be like super overlaps like this, but now I have like a general overview of like where I'm gonna put everything, so that it's just gonna be easier once I start cutting it out and pasting some of them on the board that I know for sure will like be in the corners, and then I can start layering from there. And then I have a couple like extra photos right here that I'll probably cut up and then just sprinkle her along as we go. Just had to make a little smoothie and then move to the floor. It's so much easier when you got a whole floor to work with, you know? I know you saw like the images of what I was putting on my board, but I wanted to kind of explain them, go through my goals with you. I'm gonna be honest, I used to be so scared of putting my vision board on YouTube. That's why I never really like specifically showed the whole board or anything, and I would always have it outside of my videos. But I read a book about how like you should put out your goals and dreams and talk about them as much as possible. So here we are, that's what we're doing. With that being said, pause this video, go leave a comment down below, one dream or goal that you have for 2021 or beyond that you would put on your vision board and you want to come true. The one travel thing that I have on my vision board I wanted to put on was this picture of a building in London. London was actually the trip that we were gonna take in March of 2020, and it was like the week before we were about to go was when everything closed down. So obviously I would love to travel a lot of places, but London is one that I really want to go back to. Even though I've been there before, I just really loved it, and hopefully make the trip a reality. But one tip I have for you is to be as specific as you possibly can. So if you have travel goals that you want to achieve, don't just put the word travel or a picture of an airplane or any ocean. Really think hard about where do you want to travel? Like what's one place that if you could travel next, where would you go? Find a specific photo of that place. I searched London. You could have a specific building from that place, or type in the exact resort that you want to go to. Like get as specific as you possibly can. The more specific, the better. I mean, so cute. For hobbies, I have 2 photos. One of them is I want to get more into art this year, like have a goal of at least 1 drawing a month, which isn't like a ton by any means, but I'm just so bad at being consistent with it. It's something that I've loved since I was a kid. Like this picture, I got it from Pinterest, but you can't really see your face. Something I want to get into this year is doing more writing. Right now I have a manifestation journal that I only use for writing down like goals, visions, things I want to manifest, stuff like that. But I really want to get get into like actually journaling and something that I can look back on 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now. I think that would be so interesting, and I'm always so jealous of people who have journals from like high school, even college. It'd be so interesting to look back at because I have just a horrible memory. Also, because I've been reading so much lately, I can't get the thought out of my head that I really want to write a fiction book at some point, but that's like way down the line. So for now, this just represents writing in general. So I actually have talked about this a couple times on Instagram, but never really in a video, I don't think. But something that Alex and I are working on this year that I actually want to launch this year, so that's why I'm putting it on the vision board, but that is coming out with an ebook together. So I just have a photo, a very generic photo of just like food, and I also like literally wrote out to do an ebook, so I might put that on there as well. But yeah, we want to launch an ebook that's like his and her meal ideas, so it's kind of like the same recipe, 2 different ways for health goals. I mean, you gotta drink more water. I literally have this water bottle, so it's very specific. The last year I have just been living in sweatpants, so I have this little reminder just to step it up. I really want to get into TikTok again. I have like a couple videos up, but honestly it's so fun, so I want to get back into it. So I have a goal of hitting 50K on there this year. So I literally just photoshopped 50K on a screenshot of my profile, and then I just added in the logo here. A lot of you don't know, Sarah and I actually launched a podcast in late December, so we only have like 8 or 9 episodes out right now so far. But one of my goals for our podcast is to hit 500,000 downloads this year. I also have a goal to come out with a collaboration with a brand this year. I would like to do a jewelry brand, but I'm also not opposed to other things. This doesn't mean like a sponsorship, like I'm just doing a collab with a brand. I actually want to come out with like a capsule, like Caitlin B X, whatever brand it may be. Also, as you may have noticed when I was laying everything out, I have quite a few home stuff on here that isn't just to represent like I want a nice neutral home, but these just represent a happy, cozy home that I love the environment in, I feel good in, inspired, and I also want lower rent. So that's something I'm manifesting this year. We're actually leaning towards renting, but we do want lower rent, and if we can't get that here at our place, then we will be moving. So you may see moving content in the near future, folks. You know, had to put some money goals on here. I'm not gonna like specify the number. I have a couple other things that I need to put on here that I need to print still, but for the most part, that's what's going on my vision board. And now I'm gonna put on my music. I've got my candle going back here, and let's make this come to life.
You're the only one that saves me when I'm alone. You're the only love that I've ever known. But we turn into a flower that never grows. I was hiding like the moonlight that never shows. I should've told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time, one more time. I should've told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time.
So far, this left side is all pasted. I decided to cut up this one a little bit because it was just too much white space. So I put on a little bit of this background that I used over here. I also cut up a little spot and put it up there as well, just to like make it uniform throughout. And then I might put my YouTube subscriber mark right over here so that they kind of like go together. This also represents that I want to paint more, so it'll probably go around here somewhere, but I will paste this last. But making progress. But I cut out the art girl and put it on this background, which I think looks so cool. So far, so good.
Should've told you that I loved you every night. Oh, that's on my mind. I should've told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time. Would you have stayed if I had been?
She's done. It's obviously been a couple days, but my vision board is officially complete. I'm actually so happy with how this turned out. I think it looks so cute. Going through this, up top I have the money goals, and underneath it I printed off a blank check from the universe of abundance. It's from The Secret. If you guys want to learn more about law of attraction, highly recommend watching The Secret. It's also a book, but you can print off blank checks if you just search that online and fill it out whatever number you want. So I did end up filling out a specific number that I would like to earn this year, but that's the only one I'm covering up. Next to it, we have the quote, "Girl, you already have what it takes." I feel like that's such a great reminder because it's so easy to doubt yourself and think you have to have everything figured out, but you totally don't. Underneath here, I wrote aligned, which again is my word of the year. Next to it, I have this reminder of sustainability, just because it's something I want to focus more and more on and finding alternatives. Next to here, I have the That's Loaded podcast, which I ended up not writing 500K downloads next to it just because I thought it got a little bit too wordy with the quotes that I ended up putting on here. Over here I have Clean Beauty. Underneath here we have the His and Hers ebook that I want to come out with Alex this year. Next to it is a photo of like the home stuff, and underneath it I have the other photo of money, which instead of like putting all of the money stuff in one sector, I did span it out, not only for aesthetic visual purposes, but I felt like it was great to put next to here because it symbolizes either buying a house or saving money and getting lower rent this year. This just symbolizes growing our savings, investing. Next to it I have the quote, be passionate and be involved in what you believe in and do it as thoroughly and honestly and fearlessly as you can. In the corner here we have, of course, the London photo, and then next to here is like my hobbies sector, so I have writing and painting. In this corner is more like the career stuff, so I have the 50K TikTok. I did print off and photoshopped my YouTube logo with 400K subscribers because that is like the next milestone I really want to hit. And then beneath here we have the collaboration / like capsule collection. I also have the quote, be you, not them. It can be easy to focus on what everyone else is doing. Here we have the water because, you know, gotta drink more water. Thank you for the reminder, vision board. And then I have my brand colors next to an outfit that I like just to symbolize stepping it up this year, wearing some real clothes. But that is my 2021 vision board in a nutshell. I haven't gotten around to painting the sides of this yet, but I think I'll do that today so that I can hang this up ASAP. And again, I need to put this somewhere that I'm gonna see every day. So for me, that's my home office, and that makes sense because a lot of these things are career focused, either right behind me or I'm gonna put it kind of right by my front door here so that when I walk in and also when I'm sitting at my desk, I'm constantly looking at it. A vision board you don't have to just sit and stare at for 20 minutes a day, although that is great to, you know, meditate on your goals and stuff like that. But while there is a sense of like magic to a vision board, it is a reminder to put in the work. And the last thing actually that I wanted to do this time around, which is something that I've never done before, but I think I heard about on a podcast somewhere. I'm not even sure where. This was so long ago, but I loved the idea, so it stuck with me. And that is to write a letter kind of as my future self, kind of like write out my goals as if they've already happened, specifically the ones that are on this board. After I write myself that letter, I'm going to tape it to the back of here so that I don't lose it. A year from now, when I'm making my new vision boards and I take this down, I can read myself that letter and see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed this manifestation video. I know it's been so long since I did my last one. So again, if you do want more law of attraction, manifestation videos, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and leaving a comment down below. Hope this inspired you to make a vision board, and until next time, I will see you in my next video. Mwah!